Hello everyone. I have been a fan of Kirsty's music since about '89 when I bought her album Kite. But I have to admit that I wasn't that active on following her career, mostly because she had such a spotty career. She released album every now and then. But I find it surprising that I never considered collecting her singles. Until I think it was like maybe 4 years ago, I decided to try and find her first single just to see if I could find it. And if I could, maybe then I would start collecting her singles. And I did, but I still didn't start collecting her singles. It was only, was it 2 years ago, when the Brexit was coming along, and I decided that now I have to collect all of her singles. So I spent like 3 or 4 months towards the end of the year buying like crazy her singles, every single that I could find. Vinyl singles, that is, because I don't collect CD singles. And in the end I did find her first recording. She made her first recording as a part of a punk band called Drug Addicts, and they released this 4-track EP. Kirsty's contribution to this recording is actually very minimal. You can hear her voice every now and then, but that's about it. But at least you can see Kirsty here in a back sleeve. As songs, I think these are decent punk songs. Not the greatest, but they're not bad. I think it's decent. But anyway, the band broke up, and to her surprise, she got a call from Stiff Records, whom they had tried to get a recording contract with, but they had declined. So she was surprised to get a call from Stiff Records, thinking that, why are you calling me, that you didn't like us? So they told her that, yeah, we didn't like the band, but we like your voice. And do you write any songs? And she boldly just like that, yeah, of course I write songs, even though she hadn't written any songs at all. But she came up with her debut single, They Don't Know, back with Motor On. And this is a fantastic song. Yeah, she had a really, really great start to her career. But unfortunately, not long after that, she ran into problems. And this would be a continuing theme with her career. She ran into problems with her record companies time and time again. So it went 2 years later before she released her second single, to Polydor this time. This is Keep Your Hands Off My Baby, back with I Don't Need You. And this is from 1981. This one came with a promo sheet from the record company. Next one was for her first solo album called Desperate Character in 1981, and the single is There's a Guy Walks Down in Chip Shop, Swears He's Elvis. And this is a 3-song single, including Hard to Believe and a country version of There's a Guy Walks Down in Chip Shop, Swears He's Elvis. Next one came the only single without a picture sleeve. And this is See That Girl, back with Over You. And then came, I think this was a non-album single, You Still Believe in Me, back with Queen of the High Teas. This song, in my opinion, isn't as great as the others. Not bad, but yeah, not her best work. Once again, there was a breakup with the record company, and the next one she appeared on was as a guest. And I have 3 of these singles where she appears. Well, actually, on 2 of them she appears as a guest. First one is Matchbox featuring Kirsty MacColl, I Want Out, back with Heaven Can Wait. And this is the only single that I managed to find here. All the rest I bought through eBay. I think I bought 2 of them through Discogs. But yeah, I used to be a big fan of Matchbox up until this album came out, and to this day I still haven't heard that album. And next came the single Berlin in '83, which is the only single that I don't have. I actually haven't even found a picture of the single online, but I do know that that single was released. It must have sold so little that it's near impossible to find. It was part of an album that she recorded, but which got shelved, and to this day it's never been released. But already later that year she released a new single, Terry, back with Quietly Alone. Once again back with Stiff Records, and I highly recommend you checking out this video from the YouTube. I think it's very funny video, and the song Terry obviously is a great song. Next came her biggest hit, which is a cover of a Billy Bragg song. Billy Bragg and Kirsty were good friends, so she actually wrote lyrics for the third verse, but she didn't take credit for writing those lyrics. So this is a New England, back with Patrick, and I'm Going Out with an 80-year-old millionaire. And this song, I'm Going Out with an 80-year-old millionaire, is one of the example of her lyrics. I love her lyrics. She writes a lot about songs through female perspective, and this one is one where she boldly just admits dating an 80-year-old millionaire because of his money, and she doesn't feel any remorse for it. I think that's a great sassy attitude. By the time she made that single New England, she was heavily pregnant, and if you look at her video you can see on it, but she did record one more single before going on maternity leave, but by the time this single was released she was already on a break. This is He's on a Beach, back with Please Go to Sleep, and this B-side, Please Go to Sleep, is the worst B-side of this all. It's just completely useless. It's not a song, it's just some sound effects with some violin sound. Yeah, just useless B-side. After that, she concentrated on working on other people's records along with her husband Steve Lillywhite, and this was one of those. This is the one that she is known the best. This is Pogues featuring Kirsty MacColl, Fairy Tale of New York, back with the Battle March medley. Yeah, I could say that this is the greatest Christmas song of all time. Next came up a first single for her forthcoming solo album Kite in '89. This is Free World, back with You Just Haven't Earned It Yet Baby and Closer to God. And from this point on she mostly released several different versions of her singles. There was 7-inch, there was the 10-inch, 12-inch and CD single, and there could be several different versions of CD singles, and many of those included different songs on B-sides, sometimes songs that were included on her albums or songs that were not included on her albums, like these two here, You Just Haven't Earned It Yet Baby and Closer to God, neither which are to be found on her albums. So because those songs are also on her CD singles, there are songs by Kirsty that I don't have, but I did buy all of these versions, which includes songs not on her album, so that's why I also have it on 10-inch. This one actually being my most recent Kirsty purchase, and I did buy this just prior to last year's Brexit, which finally did happen. And this one also includes Closer to God, but instead of You Just Haven't Earned It Yet Baby, this one includes The End of a Perfect Day, the original demo version. And this one comes with a printed inner sleeve. Next one is 10-inch of Days, which is obviously King's cover, but I could say that I actually prefer this Kirsty's version to King's version, which obviously is a great song in itself. But this one includes 3 songs not on her album, Still Life, El Paso, and Happy. Happy not being Rolling Stones cover, but El Paso is an old country cover by Marty Robbins. And this one also came with a printed inner sleeve. And the next one is Innocence, again 10-inch, and this one comes with a gatefold sleeve, and this one includes Don't Run Away From Me Now, Innocence, The Guilt Mix, and Clubland. And next one is Don't Count the Cowboy With Me, Sonny Jim, 12-inch, and this one includes Complaint de Paul Sainte-Catherine, French title, so obviously I'm mispronouncing it, and Other People's Hearts. And then again came a collaboration with the Pogues. This time it's the other way around. This is Kirsty MacColl with the Pogues. Miss Otis Regrets, just one of those things. Back with Aztec Camera song Do I Love You, or version, because these are both cover versions by from Cole Porter songs. These were recorded for the both a tribute and a charity album Red, Hot and Blue. And next we move on to her next solo album, Electric Landlady. This is Walking Down Madison, back with One Good Thing. For the Electric Landlady album, she released mostly just remix versions on her B-sides. So there's a lot of those different remixes on her different singles. That's why I got easily with these singles. I didn't have to buy several versions of them. Didn't even buy the double CD version, just because the vast majority of those were just different remixes of those songs. Next one is My Affair, back with All the Tears That I Cried. And once again, I think these lyrics are fantastic. She's singing to her ex that now that we have broken up, it's none of your business. What do I do? I can sleep with whoever I want. I can do whatever I want, and it's none of your business. Kirsty, she really had way with the words. And next one is All I Ever Wanted, back with live version of There's a Guy Works Down a Chip Shop, Swears He's Elvis. And then move on to the next solo album, Titanic Days. This is Angel, back with Jay's edit version of Angel. And once again, majority of these singles had just different remixes of Angel. So yeah, I got off with buying just that one. And this next one was a big surprise to me. This is Caroline, back with Irish Cousin. This was a single release for her compilation album Galore. So, yeah, I find it very surprising that the record company decided to release a single, because the compilation was released after a many-year battle between Kirsty and her record company. Record company wanted to release a compilation and Kirsty didn't, but in the end they came to agreement, and Kirsty herself compiled the compilation album Galore, which makes it not a greatest hits album. It does include her hits, but also B-sides and non-album tracks and rarities. So yeah, great single, and apparently this song Caroline is a reply to Dolly Parton's song Jolene, and this song is sang from the point of view of Jolene. Even more surprising was that by 2000 she released her final album Tropical Brainstorm, but prior to that she had released a promo single for Mambo de la Luna. This is Mint Royale mix, back with the Mint Royale version. So yeah, she herself paid for the recording of this album. So I'm very surprised that in '99 she paid for the release of a vinyl single. And even more surprising, and which I didn't know, was that she also released a second single. I saw this on Richard McCook's video, but there is an actual single release from Italy for this song, In These Shoes. And this one includes 4 remixes of that song and also the album version of this song. And this album version is placed at the final song on the B-side. And so I did listen to these first 2 remixes on the B-side, but they were so horrible that I have never listened to the remixes on the A-side. So that's it. That's the final single that was released from her. But I would like to mention that this compilation from last year, Other People's Hearts, B-sides 1988-1989, is highly recommendable. You get 12 of these B-sides released on her singles from the Kite album, are easily to be found here. This one is the Record Store Day release, but there is now a second pressing of this available, so it's easy to find this one. Highly recommendable. As is actually every single one of her recording. She had very, very great quality recordings. Okay, that's it for this time. Hope you like this. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Bye.